So, you made an evil character. I bet you didn't even intend for this to happen. You probably wrote down something like lawful neutral on your character sheet. Maybe even neutral good. By session 3, you're probably already burning down entire villages of goblin babies just to get that lost treasure and to earn that sweet, sweet XP. If you or a loved one or even another player have experienced this, then maybe you need to check out what we're talking about today, the Evil Calibration Checklist. Yes, that is right. We are talking today about the Evil Calibration Checklist from the game Eat The Reich. It is a game where you play as vampire commandos on a mission to drink the blood of Hitler during World War II and to kill as many Nazis in as many entertaining ways as possible. Now, the writer of the game, Grant Howitt, has included something called an Evil Calibration Checklist. And I think this is because Eat The Reich is a game where you are playing characters that can do evil, but you're fighting people who can do more evil, but you're also trying to stop an even bigger evil. And I'm pretty sure everybody has had those game-stopping conversations with the rest of the group about where the line is in the sand, what is too evil for even a hero, and what isn't. It's a bit like the X card, if you know that, but for deciding how much villainy your party can stomach or serve. That's a Eat The Reich joke. Well, today I'm going to show you why it's so brilliant and also why you should include it in every session 0 going forward. So what is the Evil Calibration Checklist? Let's just dive in and take a look. Eat The Reich has divided evil into 4 categories of behavior. Evil behavior. The idea is that you go through it in session 0 or at the start of your campaign. It shouldn't take actually that long, depending on the campaign. And you basically rearrange things as you see fit, or you can add or subtract things based on the game that you're playing. The important thing to remember about the Evil Calibration Checklist, and the thing to really say to your players to get them to buy into it, is it's not just about safety. It's not just about ruling out things that we don't want to see in the game, but it's also about tone calibration, if you like. It's a way to make sure that we're playing characters that fit in the setting and in the sort of the theme of campaign that we're actually trying to do. You may be playing a D&D campaign, for example, but if you want to have a sort of a courtly drama or a pulpy investigation campaign, then what is considered evil will be quite different to if you're being standard high fantasy superhero types. So the first segment, the first category on the Evil Calibration Checklist is evil inherent to the setting, which we will engage with, but never question or interrogate. Now, for Eat The Reich, they've got killing Nazis, enjoying killing Nazis. This is something that the game is ultimately encouraging, and specifically, it's an evil that is perfectly okay for the characters we're playing. The next category is evil which we will engage with, but which may be a point of conflict between the characters. Now, I think this is really interesting and actually is going to help a lot of groups, because it means that within the party, you can have different levels of what you think is okay, not as a person, as a player, but as a character. Maybe one character wants to be the edgelordy kind of character who does more evil stuff. So this is the section that you can put the actions of the edgelord character in and the stuff that they want to do, but it also says to that character, that player, don't be surprised if my character wants to bring it up, doesn't agree with it, maybe wants to have a conversation about it, maybe there's some inner party conflict about it. We as players agree that it's fine, but just so you know, my character is not going to be okay with it. Some of the things it has here is things that some of the preset characters maybe lean more towards where others don't. So things like militarism. Some of them may be ex-military and a bit more that way inclined. So not necessarily everybody has to be like that. What they've also got is patriotic nationalism. So characters can be proud of, say, Britannia, whatever. And, some characters may find that a bit annoying. The third category in the Evil Calibration Checklist is evil which will happen, but the players won't do it and will oppose it when it shows up. So this is the starting of the categories of the stuff that players will never do. So this is the hard line for everyone. But in this category, it is something that the enemy will do or can do in the campaign. What's important to note here as well is that this is an evil that the players will always oppose when it shows up. So even letting it slide or not opposing it, kind of being a bit, well, what can we do? That won't cut it, which is actually quite refreshing for me to see, because one of my pet peeves in a campaign is where you have like the bad guys and the good guys, and the players are kind of like, well, you know, both sides bad, right? This is a really good category for things like murdering innocents and cruelty and things like torture, because sometimes when people start playing role-playing games, because they can do these things and it will be the most direct solution to a problem and they think it's all made up, it's quite easy for them to think that that's okay. And the final category is evil no one does, even villains. And we can all imagine the kind of stuff that's basically you don't want this in your game at all. So we've used the example of how it can work in a D&D campaign, but there are a lot of games coming out that are more focused on horror and characters that don't live very long, games like Mothership. You've got OSR games, you know, Shadow Dark, maybe even Mythic Bastion Lands can get a bit weird. Then you've got games like Call of Cthulhu and Delta Green, which focus on kind of mental damage to people. I'm reading through the rulebook for Heart at the moment, and some of the stuff that it says or encourages you to do to help the players feel the kind of horrible body horror. I'm just sort of like, no, not doing that. You know, and it doesn't even have to be evil stuff. It could be any kind of action that you don't really want to see, or that you want to say, look, you can do that, but I don't want you to be defensive if my character finds it annoying. So next time you're about to have a session 0, maybe just grab the 4 different categories, fill in a few bits, leave some blanks, and then put it in front of your players and say, would this make the game better? So to recap, the Evil Calibration Checklist, it's fast to use, it's effective, and most importantly, it keeps everybody on the same wavelength, which means that you'll be getting much better results and more fun from your campaigns. So yeah, make like a good artist and steal this thing, put it in front of your players, make your own versions, make it fit for your campaign, and maybe let me know in the comments what is the weirdest thing that you've had to add to your calibration checklist. So just remember that some evil is relative and some evil is absolute, like killing an NPC that the GM likes playing and who did nothing wrong. Michael, thanks for watching.